dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A tragic day in the mountains. We begin in Bell County, where a grandmother and her 3 grandchildren died in a morning fire. This is aerial video of the scene on Hurst Hollow Road. As you can tell, it's a rural wooded area. Not much is left of that home. Today, the school those children attended set up a memorial in their honor. WYMT's Connor James is live tonight with reflections from those who knew them best. Connor?
Steve, it's hard to quantify the heartbreak this community is going through right now. 4 people dead, 3 of those children not even teenagers. Here's a photo of the 3 Posey children. From left to right, 12-year-old Sierra, 11-year-old Cynthia, and 9-year-old Sean. The mother of the children among the many trying to find a way to heal tonight. Our Will Puckett talked with her earlier.
This sign, with smoke billowing behind it, marks what now used to be.
And all 3 of them was wonderful kids.
With a fire truck running idle in the background, this house is all that is left of a home that sheltered 3 kids and their grandmother.
I was praying and kept praying that they had got out, but unfortunately they did not. My 3 kids and my mother all died in the fire.
This is Jennifer Posey coming to the home, where her entire world was taken from her Tuesday morning.
I don't know. That makes me feel so numb. I just can't believe they're gone.
She is the children's mother.
She was nice. She helped anybody and everybody.
Beulah Mullins cared for her 3 kids for the past 5 years.
Sierra, she loved dogs and rabbits.
She was the oldest, just 12 years old.
Cynthia, she ran around, played, and hollered all the time and playing with her puppies.
The middle child, only 11. And a little boy.
Sean always liked to climb. I called him my little monkey. He could climb on anything.
Only 9. 4 lives lost, and now questions with answers that may never mend the broken hearts left behind. In Bell County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
This loss, it's left a hole in the heart of this region, a community devastated right now, and a void that will remain empty for a long time as Bell County and many in the surrounding communities try to heal. But today alone, we started to see that healing take place in little, small, but delightful ways. At Bell Central School, where the children all went to school, a memorial was constructed, and it was there for the 3 of them. Sierra, Cynthia, and Sean were as close to siblings as they come. Teachers here tell me their love was unbridled. They were the most caring children and kids that had some of the most heartwarming smiles imaginable. It's the absence of those smiles and that incredible compassion that leaves a hole in many hearts tonight. But the people here at the school tell me amongst the heartbreak, there is some peace.
We talked to them this morning, and we explained that there was a house fire. And immediately one of the kids are they okay? Is he okay? And we were able to say, Sean, it was his class. He's with Jesus now, and he is okay. And those kids get comfort in that. And that's what we tell our kids. They're so much better off, and if they could come back, they would choose not to come back because life is so much better where they're at than where we're at.
Now, of course, counselors were available today. They'll be available tomorrow and really however long they're needed. But before we go tonight, I want to say one thing about the students and staff here at the school. Every morning, the principal goes over the morning announcements and says, "I love you" to all the students. She told me today she heard more "I love yous" from the students than anything. And the students on their own decided that in the morning tomorrow, they're going to gather together and sing Amazing Grace in memory of those 3.
Heartbreaking day, Connor. Thank you very much, and we'll Puckett before that. A Wolfe County family is filing a wrongful death suit following a deadly explosion back in November. They claim Troublesome Creek Gas Corporation failed to respond to concerns from the family. They reported smelling gas inside their home. In the lawsuit, the family says technicians from the gas company came out several times to inspect and told them it was safe, including the day of the explosion. Philip, Sue Ann, and Albert Vanderpool all died in that blast. Happening now in Pike County, firefighters are battling a large fire. A witness at Commonwealth Pharmacy said people were asked to evacuate the area as crews battle the flames at a home there. Now, luckily, we are told no one was injured in that fire. Today, we learned who police arrested in a Letcher County shooting last night. This is Bobby Combs. Police say he met up with two men who thought Combs was bringing them marijuana. Instead, the men claim he pulled out a shotgun and demanded $50. That's when one of the other men pulled out a pistol and say Combs started shooting at them. Combs faces assault, robbery, and drug charges. It is unclear if the other men will be charged. Now an update to a string of quick stop robberies. 2 additional arrests were made in connection to the robbery of the A&B Market in Artemis in Knox County that happened back on December 21st. The investigation led the Sheriff's Department to believe the robbery was an inside job. On Monday, one employee and her partner were arrested. Both are now out on a $50,000 bond and are scheduled for a court appearance on Thursday. Initially, the investigation led to the arrest of a father-son duo, Alex and his father, Russell Toothman, who have pleaded not guilty.
Deputy Broughton's done a lot of interviews. He's come out even on his own time and worked on some of this case. So he's talked to a lot of people, and a lot of the interviews and stuff and statements people's got led him to the inside.
Now tonight at 11, we will have much more on this story as WYNT's Lacey Roberts spoke with that employee arrested who wants to know why she is being involved in this. Well, police have released the name of the man killed in this morning's crash in Floyd County. Donald R. Tackett Jr. of Pikeville died during what officers called a nearly head-on crash during snowy conditions. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more.
It was a morning of heartbreak.
One of our deputies had just come out to work, had just left his home, not just 2 miles away, 3 miles, and was involved in a near head-on collision.
When Donald R. Tackett Jr. of Pikeville was driving on Bays Branch Road in Floyd County and veered into the path of oncoming traffic.
We're just heartbroken for the family, and my deputy's heartbroken. He's more that heartbroken than he is any kind of physical damage that he got.
Floyd County Sheriff's Deputy Kevin Johnson was driving the vehicle that was hit during the crash. Once he freed himself from his vehicle, he attempted to help Tackett, but it was too late.
It's one thing that you hope you never have to show up on, you hope you never have to deal with it, but
Tackett was declared dead on the scene, and Deputy Johnson was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. But officers say they all left a little hurt.
Yeah, I just recently lost 2 family members, so I know what it is to grieve, and so our hearts are with them, and they're in our thoughts and prayers.
They believe weather was a factor in the crash, and they encourage drivers to be cautious as winter progresses.
Don't take it for granted that it may not be as bad as what you think it's going to be, because I think this one got severe pretty quick.
In hopes of avoiding more heartache.
The things that we deal with don't stop for anybody, and they're going to keep happening, and we're going to keep going to them, and we're going to keep showing up.
And keeping the community safe. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Investigators say Tackett's K-9 partner, Lita, was also in the vehicle but was not injured in the crash. In Perry County, deputies believe slick roads caused this crash on Kentucky Highway 451 this morning. You can see the vehicle flipped over in a ditch. Officials say a woman and her daughter were inside at the time. We are told they only received minor injuries and did not have to go to the hospital. A Whitley County man charged in a double murder accepted a plea deal this morning. Paul Parsons pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder and 1 count of burglary. He killed Denver Nicely and Joshua Wernicke in June of 2017. As part of the plea deal, prosecutors recommended 20 years for each murder charge and 15 years for burglary. All of them run concurrently for a total of 20 years in jail. Parsons will be sentenced next month.
It was was a little bit of a messy start earlier this morning, but we're seeing all of that get on out of here as sunshine returned earlier this afternoon. We'll go ahead and take you up to Pine Mountain, where they saw a little bit of snow earlier this morning, but most of that has melted as those temperatures got way above freezing for today. Looking over into Interstate 75 in London, few clouds here and there. They definitely remain on the drier side. Did not get in on that snow action, but seeing a gorgeous sunset over there. So temperatures, they're pretty mild, low to mid 40s for most of us. Upper 30s though, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Wise, and even over into Logan. It's because that system's still moving out, hanging on to a few clouds over there. But temperatures in those skies continue to drop as we head into tonight. We'll be dropping into about those low to mid 30s. So a little bit of refreezing on some of those back roads. Just take it easy on your Wednesday morning. And by the time we get into your Wednesday and even your Thursday, warm temperatures will make those roads a-okay. I'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. The first day of the Kentucky legislative session is now in the books. Lawmakers gavelled in at noon today with some rule changes made and how bills are discussed and then voted on. We also heard some hints on what could be some of the major issues this session. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the start of the General Assembly.
House come to order. Members, proceed to your seats.
High noon on Tuesday, and the Kentucky House was back in session.
Quorum is declared. The House is ready to proceed.
House leaders have yet to say what their specific priority bills will be.
The priority of the session is the budget. It's the one thing that we're required by the Constitution to do. We take that mission very seriously.
Knowing they will need to find revenue to meet a lot of demand.
But we continue to be a state with many needs and one with limited resources.
Lawmakers passed several rule changes, including on how bills are voted on and then discussed, including the process of abolishing bills that are passed on what is called the consent calendar. Bunching together bills at once is no longer allowed.
Going forward, all bills that come to the House floor will be voted on individually.
Hundreds of bills have been filed for this year, and while casino gambling is doubtful, the House leadership did say there may be support for sports betting. Another bill that could see some traction is allowing medicinal marijuana.
You know, it's one that we have to gauge the interest of the body. We will, as with every bill that is filed, we will give due consideration, gauge the interest of the body, and move forward in the best manner possible.
Osborne says their bills will focus on pro-jobs and pro-family type legislation. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
No action on the spending plan is expected until after Governor Beshear delivers his budget address to a joint session of the legislature on January 28th. A Kentucky Democrat says he's running for Rocky Adkins' former seat. Sandy Hook native Bill Redwine is running in the 99th House District. He worked for Morehead State University for almost 40 years. The seat was vacated by Adkins when he became senior advisor to Governor Andy Beshear. Adkins had held the seat since 1987. Richard White is running for the seat on the Republican side.
And we have a couple of mild days before soggy weather returns back into the forecast Friday, Saturday, continuing a little bit into your Sunday as well. We'll break down that system coming up in just a few short minutes.
But first on this busy news day, fires continue to rage across much of Australia. And although it's far from Kentucky, we'll tell you how one boy here in the mountains wants to help the folks down under.